What's up again, guys? Yeah, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Dovahkiin, and welcome back to Let's Play Wasteland 3. And before we begin, be sure to hit on the subscribe button for more great videos. Okay, before I do a recap on the last episode, just an FYI, at the time of this vid's recording, the appetite for construction patch 1.4 dropped. And the most notable highlights of this new patch are crafting, the animal companion kennel, and improved UI. Alright, in the previous vid, we finished the Cornered Rats mission, which takes place at the Garden of the Gods. I also respect and showcased my initial build for Lucia Wesson, of which she's gonna be a rocket slinger. As per notable items, though I haven't accessed the locked section at the Garden of the Gods, cause I'm still lacking a mechanic in my squad, ideally Jodie Bell that is. But these are the stuff that I was able to obtain throughout the said quest. After decimating the Beastmaster's crew, I found this wolf skull ornament in one of the nearby containers, and back at the garage of the Ranger HQ, you can equip it onto the Kodiak. In the mess hall, on the other hand, after achieving Toaster Repair 3, you can get this badge, an accessory which further boosts that skill when equipped. Lastly, at the brig, the desk in front of Hope Emerson, the new jailer, contains this lock-picking skill book, and of course I used it on Xenon, my sneaky sniper slash locksmith. Okay, in the last episode as well, I leveled up Quan's kiss-ass skill, and mentioned that there are a lot of interactions here in downtown, well, all throughout the game actually, which require some ass kissing. One of them is freeing Austin Peace, who is in line for execution at Pillory Square. Well, his mom Evelyn will plead you to help her accused son, but you can just go straight to him instead. Then, use Kiss Ass 4 on Magistrate Watkins to release the boy under the Ranger's custody, therefore saving him. Otherwise, you can choose to pay for the damages that Austin did. More like bribery if you ask me, which amounts to 200 bucks. And at this early point in the game, that's a steep price to pay. Anyway, whichever method you pull off to free him, your reputation with the refugees will increase. Alright, in today's vid, we'll be addressing the Big Trouble in Lil Vegas quest, which is technically a part of the Full House quest, of which objective is finding worthy personnel for our HQ. The Vegas quest will net us a quartermaster for our armory. The last episode, on the other hand, Cornered Rats at the Garden of the Gods, as you know, earned us Hope Emerson as our brig jailer. In this episode, we'll also recruit a doctor for our medbay, and though not listed here, a curator for our museum, both of which don't require separate quest lines to achieve. But before that, let's drop by at Josiah Cassidy's fine clothes shop to iron out his troubles.
Did you just give me a...
Come out of there,
hickey?
you sons of bitches!
Josiah, come on! Don't provoke them!
But they're in my shop! They might ruin my stock!
Better they ruin your stock than your head, Josiah Cassidy. Don't you dare go inside.
Consarn it! You Dorsey peckerheads, get on out of there!
Hush up now, Josiah. You can't go in there alone. They'll kill you.
You think I can't handle myself? I've put down worse than these in my time.
Since when? You've been a shopkeeper all your life. Will you help me talk some sense into this old fool? If he goes after those Dorseys, he'll get himself killed.
Some of those Dorsey bastards are hiding out in my shop. My shop! Finest clothing store in the whole dang town. So I'm going in after them.
Thank you. Keep an old man from killing himself, will you?
Killing myself? Can't you pretend to have some faith in me, Martha? Especially in front of these soldier types? You do this, you'll get a nice discount at the shop. Assuming I still have a shop by the time it's all over. Well, go on then.
To remind you again, this is Supreme Jerk Mode, the hardest difficulty. Now, this will be a single round wipe, and to do that, don't barge in like a fucking noob. As opposed to what it seems, you can actually set up your squad. Just be careful of going beyond this line, because it will prematurely trigger the fight. Okay, let's do this.
Shit, Hotlanders! We thought you was all dead! Back off!
No damage at all.
Boy, thanks again for taking care of those Dorseys. Say, if you got hurt in that scrap, you should see a friend of mine, Doc Parker. He set up a clinic in the Arapahoe Garage, just outside the city gate. And here, a little token of our appreciation. Come on back after we reopen the shop.
Alright, now let's go to the Colorado Heritage Museum to enlist a curator for our own museum back at Ranger HQ.
Stupid!
Sure they could use my help.
Who? Junko Murayama, sculptor, roboticist, amateur historian, and former curator of the Colorado Springs Museum of History. Can you believe it? I really fixed up that museum. Before me, just a bunch of dirty old trash we had to go look at 5 times a year in school. I brought the place into the 22nd century, scavenged some old robot parts to rebuild the animatronics, remade all the replicas from scratch, cleaned all the blood off the scar collector weapons. Good stuff. Officially, because of the Dorsey raid. But I think they didn't like the questions I was asking about the Patriarch's history while I was renovating the exhibits. I mean, why else would they tell me they'll be hiring a new curator? What's that got to do with the raid? I don't even know. I sent Diligent Joe, the Patriarch's private secretary, a list of questions about the Dorsey family and the routing of the Plains gangs. Just trying to clear up a few weird discrepancies, you know? Well, he doesn't get back to me, and then the raid happens, and I'm out on my ass with no explanation. That's weird, right? The marshals have the front boarded up, but there's a side entrance you might be able to open. It's never guarded, but they keep it locked. You didn't hear that from me. That's rad! Heck yes! Thank you! You won't regret this. You're over at the old airbase, right? I've read all about that place. I'll see you back at your HQ.
Okay, now for the doctor. As Josiah Cassidy said earlier, Doc Parker can be found at the Arapahoe Garage. But unlike Junko, signing him up requires more than just dialogue. A short task to be exact. And you need to have at least 1 skill point in first aid, and a few medical items to boot. But most likely, at this point, you have those in your bag already.
City's really humming.
It's great to see.
Just wish they'd rebuild my house.
Come on, you Ferris fiend! Turn! No time.
Hey, Doc.
Quan, hope you won't take offense, but I've got no time for niceties. Dying people take precedence.
Understood, brother.
They're in bad shape, and I don't have the time or tools to save them. Thank you. The things I need most are a suture kit, an injury kit, and a medic pack. Got that? These folks are literally dying on us, so don't fuck around. Great. Then get started on those patients.
First, a suture kit.
It isn't that bad, is it? Just flesh wound, am I right? You should see the other guy. You closed my wound. I won't miss staring at my own guts.
Next, a med pack.
They wouldn't stop. Why wouldn't they stop? It hurts. Please.
Let's round him up and bring him back to Doc Parker.
What's going on? Did you patch me up?
And finally, an injury kit.
Jumped out of a building to escape the Dorseys. Didn't count on the ground stopping me.
My leg! You said it! Ugh, it still hurts like a bitch, but maybe I'll actually walk again. What now? Good. Thank you. One sec, though. I know I've asked a lot of you, and I'm grateful for what you've already done. But I need one more favor. See this girl? She was shot in the head, but there's no exit wound. The bullet's still in there. I need to keep constant watch on her, and I need cleaner, safer facilities to do it. If you let me use the facilities at your HQ, I'll do anything. I'll work as your doctor. I'll fucking juggle for you, Rangers. I just need to save her. What do you say? Thank you. You saved her life. And mine. Need anything before I get my stuff together? Of course. Let's have a look. Good luck.
Actually, you also get this as a reward from Doc Parker, which adds a point to first aid when equipped.
Hey, Jimmy. Glad to see you're okay. Dorsey's didn't get this far?
Yeah, they didn't bother with us. They were after folks wearing badges like yours. I would have shot those Dorseys dead if they'd walked in my garage. Haven't seen your friends before. If you folks are looking for help with your vehicle, you've come to the right place. Anything for your vehicle. Have a look.
Now, if like me, you don't have a mechanic yet, you need to purchase this accessory from Jimmy Longhole. Cause later, there's something in the Vegas quest that needs to be addressed with 1 point in mechanics.
Let's hope you got another career planned. I give it another 3 months before Pesa leaves you in the dust.
And so what if she does? It just means I gotta work harder. Ain't no shame in that.
I'm gonna remind you that you said that.
Alright, before Vegas, another segue if you may. South of the museum, near the Sandslux apartments, awaits another battle, but not against Dorseys. After setting up my team, Quan's gonna trigger this fight via dialogue, so the enemies will attack first. But once the turn passes to my squad, like the previous battle, this will be another single round wipe. Watch.
look at what these marshals and Dorsey's got on them.
Those marshals were colleagues of mine. I'm gonna guess you didn't kill them, but you need to put all those valuables back and walk away.
Fat chance! We got guns and ammo now. We don't take orders from marshals no more.
Taking shelter. Hey, not much use if I'm dead. New targets in. Up and at 'em, ladies! Wasn't worth it.
And that is how you make things easy. Yes, I opened the museum, but I'm not gonna go in at this time, because there aren't any significant events there yet. Okay, now finally, let's address today's mission. Big Trouble in Little Vegas. By the way, Farron Rygo is a gang boss, and the owner of this nightclub.
Rangers, this is Daisy. Sounds like you're at the Little Vegas, judging by all that noise in the background. Remember, Your first order of business is to find Delgado. Maybe somebody in there has seen him. While you're at it, if you can prove that Brago made a deal with the Dorseys, feel free to take that bastard down. Best of luck, Rangers. Daisy out.
We've got drinks, dancing, and games of chance. Pick your poison.
What's your favorite song?
You know that I know the DJ?
You mean
Welcome to Little Vegas, friends. Care to play some blackjack? A small fee gets you a seat at the table and wins pay even money. Well played, friends. Another hand? Just put down a small bet. As you wish. This table's always hot. Come back anytime.
This is the amount of money before I went in and played blackjack. And do I even have to tell you to do some intense save scumming in order to bleed the tables? That's a no-brainer. So let's see how much I have now. If you do the math, I've already won $290. And after one more win here at blackjack or any other casino game, Brago will ban me from playing entirely. So, for the last hurrah, I will go to the slots. But I'll rig the machine with lockpicking 5 to instantly hit the jackpot.
Buddies, you can enjoy your winnings with drink or a lay, but you ain't playing any more games with us. Brago's orders.
The jackpot was $350. So in total, we've won $640. That's as far as I can go. But if you have a high barter skill, in combination with playing on the roulette table, you can have a bigger payout. Alright, let's have a chat with Brago. Anyhow, if you can, go for the skill checks in the dialogue to earn some EXP.
No more gambling for me. I learned my lesson.
These stairs lead to Mr. Brago's lounge. He said I should let you guys through. But don't even think about messing with that computer behind me. I got one job, and that's guarding that computer. And if you was to mess with it, well, that would be a very bad day for you, my friend. A very bad day. That is the computer that controls the ventilation system. And I have to guard it because it's broken, and there could be real trouble if anybody said it wrong. Big trouble if you set the fan to off and the heat to max, which isn't supposed to be possible, but right now it is. The furnace could catch fire and burn the whole place down, so I'm not leaving my post for anything. Well, maybe if a fight broke out I would, but nobody would be stupid enough to start a fight in Mr. Brago's place. Would they? You're not gonna say I said any of this, are you?
Ugh, so gaudy, so ostentatious.
Rangers, welcome to my club.
Ah, Rangers, what a pleasure. I heard you were in town. It must be, 20 years since we crossed paths. Not that any of you would remember that, of course. You were probably just kids when Vargas and Angela dead and the rest helped me save Vegas. And I hear we have you to thank for Cassidy's fine clothiers being back in business. My capos and I thank you. If not for Cassidy's, we'd have to settle for second-rate suits from the bazaar. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm Farron Brago. Welcome to Little Vegas. My recreation of the glories of the town we lost. Perfect, isn't it? You haven't heard the story? Hey, I'll never forget it. 20 years ago, Vegas was being overrun by robots. A nightmare. Then Angie and Snake and their squad showed up, guns a-blazing, and saved the day. Heroes, every one of them. Helped me consolidate control of the city, too. Of course, 15 years later, the robots came back and destroyed everything. But you know all about that. They attacked you, too. Anyway, that shared history makes me happy you're here. I hope you'll enjoy your stay. I'm glad you think so. You should have seen it 5 years ago. Nothing here but the walls, and half of them were falling down. We really worked hard to get where it is today. But enough about me. How are things with the Rangers? Is General Vargas still in charge? I'd love to give him my regards. We owe him and his team a lot. Damn. I'd heard rumors, but... well, I'm not surprised that's the way he went out. A hero to the end. Thank you for telling me. I'll raise a glass in his honor tonight. Now, what can I do for you? Certainly. Ask away. I know Delgado, but I haven't seen him. If he came here, he didn't come to see me. What? I don't want those kind of connections. Murder in the streets is bad for business. If I were you, I'd be looking for someone with a grudge against a patriarch. Not exactly a short list, I know, but... what a shame. Nothing I like more than a good grilling. What else can I do for you? Ah, yes. Had that painted for my office back in Vegas. Before the robots came. Not a bad likeness, eh? Thank you, Rangers. That's very flattering. But really, it's not so much that I haven't aged, but more that the cares and woes of running Vegas back then made me old before my time. Since I've come to Colorado, I feel 20 years younger. Good luck.
Okay, let's go back near the tables and talk to the in-house junkie, Shakes.
Oh man, I love dancing in this place.
It's the best! But I've heard a rumor that there's an exclusive...
What?
Every year. I'm for sure gonna get one right.
Fuck! Fuck! I'm so screwed! Like, totally. Fuck you! I'm a sick man! I went upstairs to get my shit out of the safe, but Boulder and his mercs took my pants and kicked me out before I could get it. No fucking way I'm dealing with that asshole again. But I need that stash or I'm dead. Can you help me? Not my drugs. Other people's. Well, mostly. I got deliveries to make. Rhino and Focus. 5 each. I owe a lot of money. I don't sell this shit, they'll kill me. In a safe? Upstairs in the private room? Here's the combination. Just watch out for Boulder.
Hoo-hoo!
Boulder and his local 168 mercs are confrontational. They are quite tough too, but you can avoid the fight if you have Kiss-Ass 3 or Hard-Ass 4. As per the Hard-Ass choice, you'll get some intel about Delgado's whereabouts as well. However, I don't have a Hard-Ass in my squad, so I should just go for Kiss-Ass to avoid the fight, right? No. Since they're not gonna be of any help to my mission, might as well just fucking kill him. Don't worry, the club bouncers outside wouldn't mind the fight. Actually, no one in the club would mind at all. So again, let me set up my team. And in this battle, the trigger line is right about here. And Quan's gonna be the one who will cross that line once my squad is set. Again, this is a tough fight, so I'll use up as much frag grenades as I need. Anyway, as I've said in the previous vid, since I don't have a spare rocket launcher for Lucia yet, for now, she's my designated grenadier. Alright, let's do this.
Yoo-hoo-hoo! Local 168, booyah! 168! 168! Local 168, booyah! Hell yeah! 168! 168! Hey, remember how I blew that Dorsey brains out? Still got some on my shoes.
What are you runts doing in here? This is a private party. None of your fucking business.
Oh, they're mercs. Happened to be in town when the Dorseys attacked, so we paid them to help us out. Nice to see him putting the Patriarch's money to good use.
Oh, so you've got some cojones. Well, if it's a fight you want, the local 168 are happy to oblige. Yes! Good! Good!
Up and at 'em,
And that is how you make things easy.
Those local 168 twats were shitty tippers anyway.
By the way, you need not return the drugs to Shakes. He's just a junkie, a non-essential NPC, so double-crossing him is just natural. Since we didn't get any intel about Delgado from Boulder, we have to find another source. And that source is in the brothel/whorehouse. Take note, you have to cough up some cash for the intel.
Wonder if 10 is working today.
Welcome to the Little Vegas brothel, friends. Oh, hey, Quan. Looking for a good time, I assume?
Sorry, Ken. Me and my friends are here on business today. Rangers, meet Kendall, Colorado Springs' finest purveyor of sins of the flesh.
Delgado. You know, that name sounds really familiar, but remembering is going to be hard work. The kind of work a man should be paid to do.
Kendall, you predictable son of a bitch.
I need serious cash. Any less and it isn't worth the risk. Shit! I knew I should have asked for more. All right. Don't tell anyone I told you. But Delgado was sniffing around the club, asking too many questions about the Dorseys. Last I saw, Charlie Knowles was pulling him into the back rooms behind the bar.
God damn it. Now Daisy's gonna want Brygo dead, and she won't take no for an answer.
Yeah, okay. Bye.
Oh, sweetie, everyone has nerves their first time. Let's try again. Slowly this time.
No, I know how to do it. I just don't feel like it right now. Hey, who the hell are you guys? Yeah, well, I was just leaving. Thanks, Ace. I guess. Does that work? I have been tired lately, focused on, work. Thanks! Oh, man. Yeah!
Look at you, big boy. Okay, sweetie, let's try again. Ha!
This guy was able to perform normally because of what we gave him. One of the drugs that came from Shake's safe. So we should somehow get rewarded, right? However, I think he's bugged. Remember the broken climate control computer earlier? The one near Brygo's office, which is guarded by a bouncer? Braddock here is supposedly the repairman. And in exchange for fixing his broken boner, he should have given us the password to that computer. But again, he's bugged. So screw him.
Come here, honey.
Just leave me alone.
You know I'll take care of you.
Gracious. Do people actually want to... Disgusting.
Nice, another hood ornament for the Kodiak.
sexy little thing. This is my first time. So, how do we do this? Do I just... Oh! Whoa, okay. Take it off? On my knees? Okay. Oh God.
Holy goat, that was fucking vivid and just utterly disgusting. Anyhow, paying any of the prostitutes here for pleasure, may it be man or woman, or a beast for that matter, will give you a variety of temporary buffs, depending on whom you spent the night with. By the way, stay tuned in for the part 2 of this quest. And that is all there is for now. Thanks for watching. Also check out other videos from Sabbathman Philippines and don't forget to subscribe. See ya on my next vid. Peace out, ya.